Join the team.
Hey team, this is McGuire Review, and we have another confidential set. Not so confidential anymore, but this is the brand new Pathfinder Battles. This is the Bestiary Unleashed set. Set 20 from Wizkids. This is going to be a brand new set. It's pre-order right now. It's coming out in the month of July 2021. We do have a preview set that's here. Sometimes the whole entire set will be in here. Sometimes it is an assortment of some of the items that are in the booster boxes or the blind boxes. I haven't opened any of this yet. I like to open it right on camera, so you're seeing it at the same time that I'm seeing it, so I've been patiently waiting with this. And then we do have a larger piece as well that comes with this set, which I believe is a dragon. So we're going to get that open as well and take a look at that. And again, these are not paid previews or reviews. These are truly reviews. I have been provided these products from Wizkids. Obviously, you can't get this any other way. This is a reviewer pack for review, but it will be a review, so we will be taking a look at the paint quality as well as the sculpts and what I think about those as we go through this. So again, Pathfinder Battles, the Bestiary Unleashed. We're going to start with the main box here, and then we'll get into the big box. Don't let me forget. Almost forgot. We did another set and almost forgot the big box. So we will be using the Tiny Bone Shiv of Death to open this. I really like this one versus the Cleave lately. It's just easier to work with, and it's super sharp. So put it right there. Okay, let's get this one open. Bear will be hitting us with some up front and close miniature cam work. So you'll be able to see that once we get in here. We'll look at a few of these, get them out on the table, and then we'll get to the miniature cam side-by-side view to be able to see exactly what we've got. So we will take the box. We'll get the box out of here. All right, timeout, pause. We're gonna do a brand new format for these kind of videos go forward, and we're gonna start that format right on the fly. We're gonna start that format right in on this video and go forward all the videos that we do with this type of setup where we've got the reviewer pack and we're getting the miniatures out. We're going to do a brand new format. Now, I need to do some different things here because I do want this to stay being a review of what we have here. I'm not just getting everything out and just giving you an overview of what these models look like. I do want to keep this as a review. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get everything out. We're going to be able to see the whole set holistically. We'll do some close-ups, and then we'll bring the camera in with the brand new
mini micro cam,
and you will be able to see each one of the miniatures up close, and that's where we'll go through the review as well. That way we're reviewing it as you're seeing it up close. I think it'll be a much better experience. Okay, so let's get them out. Okay, we've got the set out. Now you can see the entire set that we have here, and what an amazing set. Again, this isn't the full thing. This is an assortment of miniatures that you will find in this Pathfinder Bestiary set that's going to come out. You can get those blind boxes. They really nailed it on this set, and I'm very impressed with the sets that they're doing in the Pathfinder IP. I just really, really like the Pathfinder sets that they have. Just such amazing pieces. You can see here kind of up close with the side-by-side miniature cam. Bear's hitting us with that work right now. You can just see how awesome this overarching set is. What I'll say holistically is there's a nice amount of kind of beast/humanoid figures that are in this set. We've got some iconic stuff. You'll notice the little goblin. We've got an awesome one there. There's a lot of angel-type winged humanoids in this set as well. There's some amazing angel figures that are just off the charts. Really, really like those. And this centerpiece here with the guy kind of, holding the two orbs. This is probably one of my favorite figures that I've seen in any of these packs. This sculpt right here is amazing. The paint job is nuts. This is definitely a display piece for me versus just all the miniatures that I have. Look at the dragons in this set. The dragons are nuts. We did hit these dragons a little bit already, but the dragons are just really, really well done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the camera in and do the up-close mini micro cam on each one of these models as we go through one by one and look at the review and look at that model up really close. Okay, let's go through each one of the miniatures here now. So this is our bronze dragon. It is 43 of 44. So you can see the bronze dragon there. I think it's done pretty well. The eyes are nice and tight. I love the fire type breath that's coming out. I think the wash looks really good. And I love the color. Love the color on this one. And then you got a little bit of a different, kind of a gold there undertone. So really nice done on the bronze dragon. Grab our white dragon here. This is, again, 44 of 44. So this is going to be the rarest in the set here. And it's done really well, too. We went over a little bit, kind of that blue. It's got that blue on there that's kind of faded in with that white. The eyes are done really well. I like how the inside of the mouth is done, the tongue having a different color. And everything here on this is done really well, too. You can see that shading on there. I love the use of the blue on this particular sculpt. It's done really well. And there's a decent amount of sculpting even on a littler dragon like this. I think the wings are done really well. You can see there, and they're nice and broad. Really well done on the white dragon. Okay, here is our next one. This is the 42 of 44. The Qualant, I'm trying to read through the camera. Qualant, I think. That's what that says. This one's got a really nice, interesting look as well. There's no face, so it's just smooth on the face, which is pretty cool. And simple from a paint job perspective, but really deadly looking, and I really like the look of this one. Kind of haunting your nightmares kind of look. This one here is 26. The Efreti, 26 of 44. Okay, looks good on the face. Everything looks pretty tight. The teeth there, I don't know. I mean, at a distance, that's plenty good enough. Really up close, probably could have been done a little tighter. The eyes look nice. And then look at all the detail. Like, there's a lot of different coloring on this particular model. So I was impressed by that. The amount of coloring in the kind of the sash there, that dark, it's kind of a dark navy blue is what it actually is. And then you've got the silver with the bronze on the armor, the gold pieces on the necklace and the little buckles there, and the bracers. Then you've got the sword being kind of a couple different types of gray. I really like that translucent sort of fire flicking off the sword there. That looks really cool. And then anytime they do these separate tassels that kind of hang down from the model, that also requires a lot more money on the manufacturing side, but that looks really good as well. So that one looks great. Okay, next one we have here is 32A of 44. This is an Etten, and this is the flails. So there's going to be a bee of this one, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of a female model. And you've got kind of a double head there, which is cool. And then these flails that are loose, which is a neat kind of touch, where these flails are all kind of a loose thing. They're not just sculpted or attached to the base. These are loose as well. Both of them are. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like the sculpting work that's done kind of around the belt area here. You can see kind of all that detail. I was going to say I'd like to see the paint a little tighter, but it's not too bad. I mean, it looks like what you would expect that to kind of look like on this model. It does look like my piece. It's got a little bit of a paint damaged area there. But again, this is just kind of the preview pack that comes to the reviewers. And it's always possible that you could get a model that's got a little paint chippage, like even in the blind packs and whatnot. But you generally do not see that. I will say that. Really like the sculpting and the detail that's on the skin there. You can see kind of those cracks. That's not just the paint that's sculpted into the model. That looks really good. Yeah, so that's all I would say about this one. Pretty neat model. I really like the way that one turned out with those flails. Okay, let's hit one of our angels here. These angels are done really well. There's two, I believe, in this set that I have. We'll flip this around, and this is the Astral Diva. Is that what it says? Astral Diva. 40. All right, I'm gonna have to look at this off camera. All right, 33 of 44 is what this one is. This one is done. I really like this model. A little bit of bendage there on the kind of on the weapon, but again, that's something that we do see happens kind of in these packs. It's not that big of a deal. You pop that in a little warm water, and then you pop it in cold water, and it'll be right back where it should be. It's not an issue at all, so I'm not worried about that. The wings look really good. They're well sculpted. They're well washed with that washing. And I like how the wash is done on those wings. It's kind of spotty, and it gives them a lot more depth. If you look at the face there, the face is done really well. Look how tight the lips, the eyebrows, the eyes, everything's done really, really well on this one. And then you got this super detailed scripting that's on here as well on the scroll. And I like how the scroll, actually, they could have stopped it right about there, but I like how the scroll goes all the way down almost to the base of the model. That's really cool. And if you flip it over, there's more detail in that scroll back on the back side. So this is a fantastic piece right here. I really, really like this one. It's definitely one of my favorites in this set. Okay. Next one up, we've got here is I don't know why there's always upside down. 28 of 44. Sheaton, 28 of 44. We're gonna say. This one's got a pretty cool look as well. I like that big sword, and I like the shape of that sword, how they've kind of done that. That's really cool and unique. It does look like it's got almost like a little bit of an eye or something. No, just a little bit of detail there on the sword. Look at the sculpting there. It looks really nice. That's what you'll find on these models now. There's all this intricate detail that's kind of sculpted in that unless you look at them kind of close, you don't really see. I like the way they've done the hair now. It's an interesting selection. The hair and the skin is of the exact same coloring. Maybe that's just the way these are. It's kind of a different look. You usually see the hair being a little bit of a different color than the skin, where it isn't on this one. It still looks really cool like that. But I think it would have made the face actually pop a little bit more if that hair was just a little bit of a different color. And it's not. It's the exact same color. Look at the sculpting there on the abs and kind of the belt there that's holding those little buckles, those little ordnance there. That looks really good. I like the use of the yellows with this is actually a glittery kind of blue color. So that looks really good there. And I like how the bottom, is that attached? No, it's not. So that's loose. So I'm seeing that a lot in these newer sets where they have pieces that are just kind of loose, which actually looks really cool. Like I like it better than if it would have been like actually sculpted and molded and attached to the piece. I kind of like it loose. It gives it more of a realistic look. It's really cool. This is another one that's really, really nice. Marid, 27 of 44. And this one's got some really nice scripting, tattooing. Like you can see that tattooing all over, which is really cool. The face looks really good. I like those kind of like dark inset eyes. That's a really unique look, kind of menacing. And then you can see the tattoo scripting kind of all the way around it with this deep purple piece of cloth there for the clothing. And then they've got the trident, which is really cool. And, you know, I think that was a good use of the translucent plastic as well, having it come up sort of out of the water, and even some dry brushing kind of on that water to really bring out the quality of how that water would look, kind of sloshing up there. So really cool piece on that one. Here's one of our little iconic goblins. This one is a named. So you see Goblin War Chanter Shortbow, 15 of 44.
So it's not going to be a super rare one by any means. But, you know, another little goblin sculpt. This guy's really cool. Look at how they did the pants there. That looks so awesome. I love the pants with that yellow and that blue, kind of giving it that noble look. Wearing that little leather coat. Then you've got the bow and arrow set up there. So you got the quiver on the back with the arrows and the short bow. So very cool sculpt on our little goblin here. Awesome. This next one here is probably going to be my favorite piece in this new set. And this is the Pleroma Aeon 41 of 44. This is just such an awesome sculpt. I mean, the paint job is amazing. Like, I love how they've done it. It almost looks like it's just all airbrushed, and I love the use of just like making everything be the same. And you get kind of this look where it just almost kind of the model kind of just molds right into the background because it's all of the same coloring with those stars and kind of that space look. And you got two spheres. One of them is a little bit lighter than the other one. They definitely made a difference in those spheres that it's holding. That one's more just crystal clear. I don't think there's anything on it. Maybe there's a little bit of white dry brushing, where this one is kind of grayed out a little bit. So that was just a really nice balance. And then here on the back, then the cloak looks, you know, solid with that gold and that deep blue, which I think was really cool. Like, it wouldn't have been as cool if they would have just continued the paint job the same all the way around it. So that's what really gives it, I think, that definition. And this for me is really a display piece for how cool this one looks. Awesome. Okay, now we've got the Enforcer Aeon 35 of 44. So here we can see, look at the I love the contrast of that green with that silver. Got that tethered cloak, kind of a steam forged type look. That sword and I like the fact they used the exact same coloring on that sword that they did the rest of the armor. That looks so awesome. And see how that you've got those holes all the way through that cloak. The washing's done really well. What a great piece on that one. Excellent. Our next one here is also another kind of angel sculpt, but all done in kind of a goldish, I don't want to say bronze. It really does have a real goldish look to it, with kind of that fire sword coming down. Looks super awesome. Let's get up close here on the face and see what we got. Ooh, yeah, done really well. Look at that. Nice and tight on the eyes, too. And you can see all that sculpting on those wings. Looks absolutely phenomenal. And this one is the Celestial Legionnaire 39 of 44. Next one here is the Lich 36 of 44. And this one actually has got a pretty cool look as well. Again, got that high quality scripting there on the book. I love how they're doing that on models with like tattooing and just different like words you'll see that might be on books and whatnot. That looks really good. Got some scrolls kind of packed away there in the back. Love the way this staff turned out. Like the color, the yellow eyes looks really cool. Gives it a real lich kind of feel and look. And then a ton of sculpting there in the base of that outfit. You can see how deep some of that sculpting goes. That looks great. Here we've got the Mummy Pharaoh 37 of 44. Mummy's looking cool. Look at that little shot of kind of fire, maybe magic or some sort that's kind of coming out of the mouth. That was an interesting choice. They could have taken it out of the hand, but I love it sort of shooting up out of the mouth like that. Just a simple spear. Right here, though, this looks really cool. Just the use of all these colors kind of bringing out, because the base model of this is going to be pretty much your mummy wrappings. So using those red, whites, and blues to kind of bring out the color kind of around the central part of the model, I think is done really well. Our next one here is the Giant Mantis, 31 of 44, and that is simply just a giant mantis, but it's done really well, and it looks like a mantis. I mean, they did a really good job on this sculpt. It literally looks like a mantis just sitting on this thing. So really well done there with the sculpting of all of that. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more use of dry brushing. The sculpting and the washing looks really good, and it's not required anywhere else, but I would have liked to have seen maybe some lighter green dry brushing done through here that would have been able to pick up those wings, or maybe even using a bluish or a whitish type color to add to the transparency of what those wings would have looked like. And that could have been accomplished with simple dry brushing versus using a separate color of plastic. So other than that, this looks really cool. Really like the way that turned out. That's the only mantis I have. This one here is the Celestial Defender, 30 of 44. This is a larger model in comparison to like a standard humanoid. We'll just use this mummy here and see the difference in sizing there on those. This one here, really cool shield. Look at that. Look how the shield's done. And then you've got kind of that little piece of cloth hanging down there from the armor. It is all the same color, which at first I thought they should have done this part right here and here and here a little bit different. But I actually like it looking like this. And I love sort of this big spike that's just coming out here of the arm. What a cool piece there. Almost like just a naturally attached sword, but it doesn't appear to be sharp in any way. It's just nice and pointy. I mean, it's gonna be pokey poke, but that's really cool. Like the fact they went with a little mohawk, little pushed back mohawk here. That's a neat look as well. And a lot of detail. Look at that face. A lot of detail in that face. Just with the sculpting. Really well done on that piece. Okay, here we have the Grim, what is this? The Grim Reaper, 34 of 44. Just your standard Grim Reaper. Well done, though. I like the gold. That gold really brings out that weapon there on the front. You can see how it really makes it pop. Like if they wouldn't have went with that gold, I think it would have been a very different looking piece with that brown against that like dark grayish color. It might have just kind of blended, kind of got it lost a little bit, but that gold really separates that out. That looks really nice. And I like how it's floating. Kind of gave it a floating effect on that one. Here we have why do I have every one of these upside down? Here we have the Seosto Demon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. 29 of 44. This is a unique, I have no idea what this is. This is a very unique, I really like the way they did that gray with that brown. It really makes that pop. It's got a little bit of a sheen on it, you can see there. And the face is really interesting as well, kind of with the 1, 2, 3 triple horn kind of look. You got some horns on the top going back. You got the classic sort of devil horns kind of coming up, and then you got like the Diablo horns kind of coming down. That's a really interesting look there with the horns of how the sculpt of that head is done. That looks really cool. It's probably what makes this piece cool. Other than that, I think it just kind of looks like kind of a standard type of beastie monster, but this right here I think is what makes this one a little bit different, a little bit unique. And the mouth is done really well. Look how tight the tongue and the teeth are done, as well as the eyes. Okay, here is a Merfolk Warrior, 40 of 44. Okay, another Merfolk. We've seen one kind of Mer type bean. Here's another one kind of coming up out of the water. This one's more of the traditional Merfolk, where it's got the tail there, with a really cool looking trident. That blue is an interesting choice that comes up kind of through the trident. I don't know if I like that. Probably would have kept that weapon being a different color than the blue that's being used on the rest of it. Just my personal opinion. I think it would have looked better if that was a silver it would have actually brought out a lot better look with the color contrast, that gray and that blue. So I'm not a fan of that. But that's just my personal opinion. Okay, you see this? I really like the way the sculpting is done on this one. All right, and then we've got some like more detailed kind of scripting there. You can see kind of across the top of the head. That looks really cool. All right, let's get in tight on those eyes, and it looks pretty good. Very, very fine sculpting on the lips, you can see, but it looks really cool. This is a classic here, Succubus 38 of 44. Got our classic Succubus, and I do like the little kind of, it's like a scarf hanging over her that is done in a translucent plastic, which is interesting. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe the scarf is magic. Maybe it's not. I like here the sculpting, how you got you can see the black coming through the red. Let's see if that continues anywhere else. I don't see it anywhere else. It's only in that. There's another little spot. And then the wings look good. They look really dingy, which is pretty cool. I like the posing of the hands, and the face looks really good as well. See the face there. Eyes are nice and tight. Lips are tight. Eyebrows. So you really want to look at that. That's where they've really improved their stuff over the years, is how tight those faces are getting. There's nothing like having one of these models and the face is just like, globbed on there. Looks horrible. But they've really improved. And again, these are mass produced. They're high value for the dollar that you're paying for these in these blind boxes or getting these sculpts. They're going to save you a ton of time and not having to paint them. Or if you are a painter, you could always get these, and if there's something you want to do to just clean it up a little bit with a little dry brushing or washing, you could always do that if you wanted to. But it's really not necessary. These look great right out of the pack. Okay, for just your tabletop experience. And this is the last one that we've got here for the video, and this is going to be an Aeon as well. Let's see if we can read it. 16 of 44. What a cool little sculpt there. Look how cool that looks. And it's actually holding like a little dagger as well. I do have a larger one of these, and I have another one that doesn't have wings. This one's got the wings and the little dagger. What a really cool piece. I love the use of that color there in the front, kind of that teal. And it's done in like a glossy paint that really brings out the eye of it. Really well done. Awesome set. There's the set up close with the full review. This is how we'll do these go forward. That way you can see all the set up front. And if that's good enough for you, you got it, then you got it. But if you want to stick around and watch the more in-depth review of the entire set that we do have, I'll go through each model up close like that. And we'll be able to really, really look and inspect those models and see how they are. And I feel like that kind of feedback and that kind of review is what makes these models better and better with every release. Wizkids does a good job of listening to their customers, and I think their reviewers as well, and making sure that they're making these sets better and better with every release, and we've definitely seen that. Okay, we're going to end the video with the big sculpt that's in this set, which is the Treerazer. This thing is absolutely nuts. You can see there, Treerazer. I love the use of the sculpting. Look at how under the wing you've kind of got those kind of tathers kind of in the wing. It doesn't go all the way through, but it's just starting to kind of have some issue over time of the age of this dragon. High level of sculpting all the way up through the wing, and I like the use of those lighter greens that are dry brushed over the darker green to really bring out all of the detail, and not an overuse of wash either, which I think was really smart on this model. Oh, so cool. Look at the horns there and how they're done with a number of different colors. Really makes them look super realistic. And it's different than the talons that are on the wings here. Those look really good. I'm glad they went with a different look. With the tongue there, nice and dark. The teeth all well defined. A really, really good amount and usage of wash on the face with those. It's almost got a bright orange eye. This piece is really, really cool. And I love the fact that they kind of added this humanoid feel to it. Whoops, kind of the tail just like tail whipped the rest of the models. They really added a nice humanoid feel to it by having the hands coming down and gripping this big axe that's like dripping with some kind of like green poison goo, maybe. I don't know. It's like a really radioactive kind of green that they use there on that. The axe looks like it's really just this hammered almost piece of stone, the way that it's the way that it's done here and sculpted. Oh, this is so awesome. I love this dragon. This dragon may have the best contrast and look as far as the head sculpt and these horns than I think I've seen maybe ever. That's hard to say, but the way that they've done this head sculpt and the color contrasts on this, it's absolutely amazing. I just keep whipping. It's like every movement, it's so big, it's just taking everything out. Look how that goes all, and I love the use of how they did. Look at how they did the spines on there, where they're all just uniquely different. It's not just a standard pattern. Like it's more pattern here, but they are different and they're different heights. But then as you go down further, you really get into an assortment of different types of little kind of nubs and spikes that are coming out of the tail. And this one not only has a sculpted base, but it's got like little mushrooms down there and different fungus, and this one's just really well done. What an awesome piece on the Treerazer. And again, this is part of the Pathfinder Bestiary set. You can get this as part of that set. It's going to carry a little bit higher price tag. Obviously, these bigger dragon pieces, and you can see how big it is there. Put it down kind of next to some of the other pieces. You can just see how big it is in comparison to everything else in the set. Nice wide wingspan. Look how wide that wingspan is there. That's a big furious boy. Wow, awesome.
All right, team, that's been the brand new Wizkids Pathfinder Bestiaries. This is the Pathfinder Battles series. You'll be able to get your hands on these really soon. They are up for pre-order right now. They're going to be dropping very soon. I highly, highly recommend this set. Fantastic models, as you saw when we went through the full review. So hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.